What's up, internet? This is Skinny at Clarington Nissan, and I have the entire team behind me because we are doing some trading today. Behind Josh, the very tall gentleman in the center there, we have a 2016 Nissan Rogue SL, fully loaded, one owner, off lease. Absolutely fantastic find. So I'm going to show the team and you at home how we do a walk around on this amazing used car. All right. So one funny thing with video stabilization, shake your camera, and then it realizes you're doing a shaky video, and then it starts it up again. Right, it's a weird little tip. So what I like to do, guys, is when I start off a pre-owned video, or if you guys are doing it on new cars as well, I always like to talk about the history of the car. Christina, you always hear me telling you about that, right? So the Rogue came out in 2008. It was replacing the Nissan X-Trail. Some of you probably remember that car, but it is a 2.5 liter four-cylinder engine. Got redesigned in 2014 to the shape that you see here, a little bit more sleek, more crossover-like, longer and wider than the previous version. And then in 17, they did a slight redesign. It's called a refresh with the front bumper, back bumper, taillights, and a new steering wheel on the inside. But this one here is a 2016 model. It's the SL model. And right away, what I want to tell you about is right on the front here, these headlights are LED headlights. Dennis, you want to hop in and turn on those headlights for us? Because we did not prepare this properly. So Dennis here is going to hop on. They have automatic headlights, which is the reason why they're not turning on, because it's daytime. But now you can see those bright LED headlights that annoy the heck out of you when they're behind you are on this model, which are fantastic. We also have the LED accent lights that roll around it there. And then if you're driving in the country, we have fog lights down below. Now, as I step a little bit farther back here, I'm trying to keep the car in frame for my little students behind me here, but I've got the car in frame now. So what I want to talk about, what's one of the great safety features that this Rogue has, Dennis?
It has the all-wheel drive system.
It has all-wheel drive, absolutely. I was leaning more towards the forward emergency braking. Forward emergency braking. So the 16 Rogue features forward emergency braking, and what that essentially is if you were a car where Christina is standing and we were on the radio changing the station because we don't like hip-hop, we wanted an alternative, and Christina starts slowing down, the radar in the front of the bumper will pick up Christina. It'll recognize that we are not applying the brakes quick enough, and it will grab the brakes for us. It can even bring the Rogue to a complete stop, which is a super important safety feature when we have so many distracted drivers, including myself, on the road. So that is a great safety feature to have. Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Right on. All right. As we continue our tour, we're standing back here. You can see that this Rogue has tinted windows. The previous customer liked to keep the black on black look. And speaking of that, the Rogue SL features these exclusive gun metallic wheels. These are 17, what are they? Dennis, product knowledge, 18-inch wheel. 18-inch wheel with all-season tires. We've got LED turn signals in the side mirrors as well. Chrome door handles. You'll see there is a button on the handle there for the intelligent key system. I won't bore with you that at home because I think every car nowadays has that. As we're coming around the side, so there's a little blemish. It is a used car, guys. Typically, dings, dents, and scratches are free, and this one has one. There's a little side buff there, not a big deal. If we want that taken out, we will have that taken out for you. Just a small surcharge will apply. So as we're coming around here, one of the cool things I like to look for is accessories that customer puts on cars. And you can see here we have the rear bumper protector. So that is an aluminum piece that goes there, because typically when you're taking out hockey bags, golf clubs, lumber, and dead bodies, they will fall down here and scratch up your paint. Won't happen with that aluminum protector. We have the remote trunk popper. So just like magic, trunk opens, so if you got a handful of groceries, you can get in there nice and easy. Now we've got this cargo cover. Most people will take this out, put it in the garage, forget about it, and never give it back to me when they trade in the car. That is because the Rogue features the divide and hide cargo system, one of the coolest systems that we have on the vehicle. Because watch this, 1, 2, 3. Now we have a double layered trunk. Now let's say that you have some groceries and you've got eggs that you don't want to break. Throw that down. Now we've got a separator there, and obviously someone's cracked a few eggs in the back because it's still gross and dirty. Let's close up the trunk and back her up. Again, trying to keep the vehicle in the frame as I'm walking around, guys. So now what I like to do is, we've talked about a lot of the exterior features. We've talked about some of the history of the vehicle. We've talked about the cool trunk. I just keep going around the car right now because there's nothing really fun to talk about on the side. But this is a good time to kind of go through some of the features in your head that you might have missed. As you can see, their blank faces are saying, oh man, there's a lot of features. What did we miss?
Round view monitor.
A round view monitor. See? Christina, God love you. That's why you're here. So around view monitor, there is a rear view camera, of course, but underneath here, you can see there's a camera under the side mirror, one on the driver's side as well. And as we come around the front, right under the Nissan logo here, there is another camera. So when we hop in the car, I'm going to show you that, but those 4 cameras give you a top-down view of the car. So that way, when you are parking, you look like an awesome, amazing parker. However, it's just cheating. It's the cameras. Coming around the front, we've got the V-Motion grille, which is this cool little V chrome piece here. Lots of chrome on the bottom as well. Again, it is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, all-wheel drive, 175 horse, and lots of power to get you up and go on the highway. But the Rogue is one of the most fuel-efficient SUVs out there. It's actually pretty crazy how good the fuel is. It's like almost the equivalent of a Versa. So now when I get to here, I go to the back seat, right? Don't want to forget that most people are buying, especially SUVs, they're buying them for what? Families, right? So when we open up the back, we pray to God that it's not dirty. This one's actually not too bad. And on the Rogue, what's a particular feature on the seats in the back in the Rogue?
Sliding forward.
Theater seating and sliding forward, that's right. So as you can see here, guys, the theater seating means those seats sit up a little bit higher than the front seats, and the whole purpose for that is those back passengers get a better view of the road, less likely to get motion sickness. Another thing that they do is they slide back and forth. I'm not going to do it because I have a camera in my hand, and that's pretty hard to do. I'm not that talented. When you look in the back here, we've also got an armrest that folds down. You pull this, and then, oh, that doesn't release because I don't have 2 hands, 3 hands, 4 hands to do it. But trust me, that comes down. And then having a look up, we always want to point out that that huge sunroof in the back goes all the way to the back, giving everybody some nice light back here. Again, if you have motion sickness, that'll help you out a whole lot. Moving towards the front, now we want to talk about driver's seat. Obviously, we're probably talking to the driver of the car or someone who's going to relay this information to the driver. So the Rogue SL features a power driver's seat. You got front, back, up, down, backrest, and lumbar support. Lumbar support is a big one for some people. Surprisingly, you can get a power seat without lumbar support, which is nuts. Oh, does Dennis have a customer? Dennis, go sell a car, brother. Bye, Dennis. Everybody say bye.
Bye, Dennis.
Bye, Dennis. Sell car.
So again, looking in the front seat, we've got that nice panoramic sunroof that goes to the front. That piece of glass slides back or tilts up if you want to vent it. The seats are in fantastic condition. This is when I like to tell people I give a good sniff. No odors, non-smoker. That is a big deal for some people, but definitely a pet-free car, smoke-free car. And you can see they're in great condition here. Notice how I'm just doing a lot of panning. I am not, jerking in and getting in real close. I want to give everybody a good view of what they're looking at. And then from here, once you guys hop in the back and you can see me. I'll demonstrate how I go through some of the features here. All right. So now that I'm in here, I like to work left to right because obviously it's a little bit easier to work left to right. So I'm going to turn these headlights back to auto because that will change the gauges from nighttime, which are typically a little bit dimmer, to a little bit brighter. Now over here by our knee, we have the traction control. We have sport and eco mode. So that means when you start the car, the Rogue is normally just in normal drive mode. Eco mode obviously means that the gas is feathered a little bit. The transmission's a little bit feathered, so that way you get the best fuel savings. Sport mode in a Rogue is probably pretty stupid, but apparently it gives you 174 horsepower of fun. I don't know, whatever. You have this is with your advanced safety features that turns on or off the forward emergency braking and the blind spot warning and all the kind of active safety features that you would never want to turn off. You can turn off by turning that button there. Hi, Dennis. Dennis is back.
I'm back again.
Front seat.
Front seat.
Front seat, Dennis. Dennis is joining us for the rest of our program. We have the all-wheel drive lock button. You can lock the Rogue in all-wheel drive if you choose to. You would do that on very rare circumstances. Let's say there's 3 feet of snow in the driveway and you need to plow out. You could do that. Or if you're taking a boat out of the water on a slippery ramp, not a bad idea there as well. Downhill descent control, your power trunk popper, and you can turn that power trunk on or off. That's a pretty smart thing to have, say if you park in a parking garage or somewhere where you don't want that trunk opening, you could do that as well. So we've got the all-wheel drive lock on. Let's turn that off. So going through this gauge cluster here, you got 54,964 kilometers on it. You can see here that the blind spot warning is active and the forward emergency braking is active as well. And you can now see that we're 9 minutes, 30 seconds into the walk around video. used car, captive audience. People will watch it if they want to retain the information and learn about this specific used car. So don't think you can go too long, right? We've only gone through half the features. Now on the steering wheel here, we have the radio controls. This button here controls the advanced driver display, which I'll show you in a second. And then your radio controls over here. Other side, we have cruise controls and Bluetooth controls at the bottom, as well as the voice activated GPS. So over here, this button here, I want to show you this because this cool little dash setup here. So you can roll through all of these settings, outputs, and fuel economy. Everything is all located right there, nice and easy. And the reason why they put it there is because, watch this, when you're driving, this is just a quick glance down from the road to see what's my fuel economy or whatever you want to look at. It's just like that. Rather than some other vehicles where you have to go through this whole infotainment system, take your hands off the wheel, do everything there. This is a lot safer here. You can see we have the start stop button because it does have the start start, what's it called, push button start?
Push button
Thank
start.
you, that's what I was looking for. Over here, if you're a fan of audio, we've got a Bose. Your dad's stereo is a Bose stereo system, right? It's a 8-speaker, 9-speaker system. It's 8 or 9 speakers. Fantastic sound. If you know audio, you know that Bose is probably one of the leading names in it. And now we're going to show you the the Ram View camera. So when I put the car into reverse, this huge screen changes to the Ram View. So you've got the rear view camera over here, and then we've got that top-down view here. So each camera is activated, giving us that top-down view, which is really cool because if you get the parking lines here, the yellow lines, you can line the car up really nicely and you look like a fantastic driver. And obviously with the reverse camera, you don't go bumping into things in front of you. Now here's a cool little rogue hack. If you are in drive and you push the camera button, it changes to the front camera. So you can see that orange Qashqai in front of us. Now where's that handy? Costco parking lots. When you're pulling in and you got those stupid big cement barriers, like we have probably somewhere around here. Oh, there's probably somewhere around here. But you got those big cement barriers, or you got a truck with a big Ford in front of you with a tow hitch on it, and you don't want to go crashing into it, put that forward camera on, creep up slowly, and then you can park behind one of those big barriers and not bump the front bumper. So another cool little Nissan hack that we have. The other one is, if you push camera one more time, the side camera is activated, so you can parallel park. The yellow line being where you want to line up the curb, nothing closer, nothing farther away, so that way you're not all the way in the middle of the road. But just one of those cool little Nissan features that a lot of people don't know about. Now, let's talk about Sirius satellite radio. We've got CD, we've got auxiliary input, as well as USB input, as well as Bluetooth streaming. So if you have Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, every other cool streaming service out there, you can stream it right through your phone without any wires. Nice digital quality sound, and you can listen to whatever you want on demand, or we've got Sirius satellite radio as well. Still is a CD player in this Rogue. You may laugh, but they are really phasing out CD players quite quickly. What's one Nissan car that does not have a CD player?
Kicks.
Kicks? Leaf? Come on, Kristen.
You got me.
Nothing? Nothing? Going once?
Micra?
Going twice? Altima?
New
Ultima?
Ultima. Yep.
Ding ding. All right, there we go. So there's a couple cars that Nissan's already phased out where they don't have a CD player. So keep that in mind, guys. If you're shopping for a new car and a CD player is a must, step into 2019 and download your stuff.
But yes, we're sitting one.
Dual zone climate control, so his and hers. Dennis, for this intensive purpose, you are my husband, and you are too warm because you're Jamaican. I am too hot because I'm a white dude. And, oh no, other way around. Other way around.
Totally.
You're too hot because you're Jamaican. I'm too cold because I'm a white dude and I live in Canada. So we can solve that fight real quick. You'll have jerk chicken, I'll have pasta. It's not a big deal. Push the auto button and it adjusts the thermostat automatically, so that way this side gets the right temperature, that side gets the right temperature, and we don't have to fight or duel it out in the parking lot. We'll turn that off because the fan speed gets a little loud. Down here, USB, auxiliary input, and 12 volts charging station. You can throw your phone right down in there and it stays nice and out of the way, and you don't have to touch it. The resistance or the temptation is gone because we all know we don't need a $250 fine and a couple of demerit points. We've got the shifter here. There's nothing to talk about. Cup holders, but heated seats, high and low. And Dennis, tell me one of the cool features about the Nissan heated seats in the Rogue.
They actually go up the lumbar part of the back.
Quick comfort heated seats.
Quick comfort heated seats.
That's the one. What do they do?
They heat up fast.
They heat up
They
fast.
warm your tush.
There's some yes. So essentially, we're gonna blend that answer there. So what Dennis was saying is it warms up your lumbar first. Your lumbar being essentially your internal organs, if we want to get really gross. But it gets the internal part of you hot, and then it works on the extremities such as your legs, upper back, things like that. Because if your organs are warm, apparently you'll be warm. And that pretty much concludes how I would roll through one of these cars. I'd probably review it again just to give people a look at the back seat. But you can see we have two adults back there. One of them is hiding. Brian's just nice and... Brian, you look comfortable, bud.
I'm pretty comfortable, yeah.
The Nissan Rogue.
I'm not kissing my knees because of theater seating.
That's right. That's right. And you've got the nice view up top with the
And
panoramic.
they recline.
And when you want some
And I got a
space,
couple of armrests or cup holders.
There you go.
holders.
Brian's just going to take... Is that a
And I'm
personal
gonna
call?
No, I'm going to sell a car. Bye.
Okay. Brian's going to go sell a car. That's not a personal call. We'll allow that. And yeah, so that's how I wrap up the video. I usually show the back seat again one more time, and then I do one of these. Drop it on the steering wheel so that way we're not all shaky, because this is a hard one to do. But I would just sign off by saying, guys, my name is Skinny. I love working at Clarington Nissan and Coburg Nissan. And this is Dennis. This is Christina. Come see them anytime. They're going to hopefully be putting out some more videos just like this on new, pre-owned, and cool stuff that happens around the store. But Clarington Nissan, new owner, new management, new attitude, and it's a whole lot of fun to buy a car here. I love working here. You'll love buying here. These guys love working here. They're going to love selling you stuff. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and take care.